These are the plaintiffs, Richard and Barbara Casey. Richard says they adopted a dog from the defendant's animal shelter, and the thing turned out to be vicious. It attacked his mother-in-law's dog violently. The defendant took the dog back, but refuses to return their money. If that weren't bad enough, the defendant is re-advertising the dog on our website, and he's afraid an unsuspecting person might come along, adopt the dog, and be in danger. They're suing for $350, the amount they're owed. This is the defendant, Lorraine Healy. She says she runs a non-profit adoption shelter, and she spends a lot of time preparing a dog for adoption. She brought the dog Snow over to the plaintiff's house to meet the other dog living there. They got along great, and they paid her the adoption fee. She did nothing wrong. She's quite unhappy about the plaintiff's allegations that she purposely gave them an aggressive dog, and quite frankly owes them nothing. She's accused of being doggone wrong.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says they adopted a dog from the defendant, and the dog was vicious and bit the dog of a relative. The plaintiff says that she brought Snow over to the defendant's house, and everyone got along. It's the case of Snow Job.
Thank you, Douglas. Richard Casey, Barbara Casey. You are suing Lorraine Healy and Husky House, which is your rescue organization? Yes. Great. For $350, you want returned to you the donation that you gave in return for adopting a dog you had to give back.
Correct.
All right, tell me what happened.
In this past June of 2016, we had to put down our lab, who was 14 years old.
Oh, sorry to hear it.
And my wife, Barbara, met Lorraine. She said that she had the perfect dog for us. It was part lab, part husky. Once we heard lab, we were like, lab, you know, they're great dogs. You have a Labradoodle, I know.
How do you know I have a Labradoodle? That's creepy.
I don't know.
That's creepy. How do you know?
But labs are great dogs. And once I heard lab, you know, I was like, all right, let's check it out. So Barbara talked to Lorraine and...
Go ahead, Barbara.
Oh, she, in the application, I stated that I wanted a gentle dog, one good around children. 2 days later, another woman, Lola, came to my house for the house visit to make sure my home was a proper home to have a dog. At that time, I had my mother's dog with me, who is a smaller dog who has some issues, but he's a very gentle. Yes, he's a very gentle dog.
Okay. So did you put the two dogs together to see if they would get along?
Well, Saturday morning she called and said we would have to bring the dogs to their location. So I brought Bear, that's my mother's dog, to Husky House, and the dogs outside got along fine.
Okay.
Snow seemed like a very nice dog, so we said, okay, we'll take him. Brought him back to my house. The minute we brought them into the house, I guess all I could say is Snow's alpha male kicked in, and he decided he wanted to be the top dog. And over the course of the 3 hours that I had him at my house, he attacked
That's as long as you had him at the house?
He attacked my mother's dog 4 times.
Attacked how?
The first time, I had a treat in both hands, and I went to hand them both the treat. Snow dropped his, went over, and attacked Bear.
What do you mean by attacked as a conclusion?
I want to know exactly he bit him. He didn't want him to.
Where did he bite him?
That time it was on the side here.
Okay.
He chased after Bear 2 other times. The last time, Bear had been hiding under my daughter's bed. Bear started tiptoeing out of my daughter's room. He bolted over, attacked Bear, bit him on the neck, bit him on the side. That's when my husband called Lorraine and said, you have to
We can't have the dog. Okay, so is it true that they called you 3 hours after taking the dog?
Yes.
Now, I know, I presume that you have paperwork that says that $350 is non-refundable and all that, and you don't deny that. But they want a refund because, well, let me hear from you.
Like I said, when I saw it was a Husky Lab was fine. But then after we returned the dog, the next day, it was advertised as Husky Shepherd mix that gets along with dogs of its own size.
Okay, can I see that?
Yes.
All right.
Here is...
Is that accurate?
It is. That was posted
So what happened?
on our Instagram page by one of our junior volunteers. So she made a mistake with the breed.
Except in your answer to the complaint here, what you said, Snow was born in my house. His mother was a Husky Lab mix, so we figured Snow was too. We never saw Snow's dad.
Correct.
It sounds to me like you're explaining to me why you had assumed it was a Husky Lab mix.
Well,
when did you learn it wasn't a Husky Lab mix?
We still believe that it is a Husky Lab mix.
And yet, you want me to believe that a junior member took it upon herself to change the breed and say it only gets along with its own kind?
No, it wasn't. The breed wasn't changed on our website. It's on an Instagram page. That
Okay,
one of our
whatever it
junior
is, though.
volunteers has access
When
to.
you're saying that the dog was recently returned, his owner moved to an apartment that didn't allow dogs, which is totally false.
No, that is correct.
What are you talking about? They returned him because he bit another dog.
We weren't talking about that.
Oh, you're going to skip that part? Well, that's one. And he's lost a lot of weight, is depressed, and gets along well with dogs of his size. Husky Shepherd mix, and you're talking about Snow. So who runs this Instagram site?
Our volunteers run it, and our junior volunteers have access.
Do you have the junior volunteer here?
No, I do not.
That doesn't sound like something a junior volunteer would take upon themselves. So I find your testimony suspicious.
So, do Labradors ever have vicious tendencies, or are they just always docile dogs?
I've never met a vicious Labrador, but they could be. But it also could be a person making them vicious by hurting them or being mean to them.
That's a fair analysis.
I think it's environment.
You think it's environment?
Yeah.
Meaning what?
Based on how you treat the dog.
Dogs in Palm Springs are vicious, but dogs in New York aren't?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever said, going inside the courtroom.
I would never make you return the $350. I know that you go through house investigation and that when somebody signs something that says that it's, non-refundable, it's non-refundable. Here's the problem though. When you tell somebody it's a lab and then you're telling other people it's a shepherd, now it's different. They're wonderful dogs. They're wonderful dogs, but they are, alpha dogs. As opposed to a lab, which is salivating everywhere and trying to kiss you to death. Okay? There's a difference. So if there's a difference, why wouldn't you return the money?
The dog was born, we pulled the mom out of a shelter pregnant. She was a Husky Lab mix. The puppies were born in my house. They look like purebred lab puppies. Obviously they're not because mom has a little bit of a Husky in her. He was in a home with a Shih Tzu for over a year. He was adopted out as a puppy. That family split up. The story that you're reading is his original posting when he was returned to us. She changed his breed.
Show it to me in your Instagram feed so I can see it. While you're looking for that, who are all the other people with you?
This is Snow's new owner.
Oh, talk to me. What's your name?
Bill.
Bill. Hi, Bill.
Hi, how are you?
How is Snow doing?
He's great.
Awesome.
He's a good dog.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Do you have any other dogs?
No, I do not.
Great.
Yeah,
Is Snow a
absolutely.
boy?
Yes, he is.
Okay, and so he's behaved well?
Yes, he is.
Awesome. Is that Snow?
That's Snow.
Why is his name Snow?
Jon Snow.
The irony of it? What?
Jon Snow from Game of Thrones.
Ah.
I also have pictures of him from when he was a baby where you can see that he's a lab mix.
What is it you're showing me? Because I want to see other stuff, and I'm not familiar with Instagram.
Neither am I. That's why our junior volunteers run it.
Oh, well, if my daughters were only here. Who's familiar with Instagram around here? A little bit. Great. Show me this post so that I can see it in its natural state here. Go ahead.
So these are his second adopters.
Yeah.
Originally, he was adopted by.
Yeah, I know, but they're reading this. Wait a minute.
Yes.
What I want to know is it's October 18th at 1:51.
Yes, that's when it was posted. That's correct.
Oh, so someone on your end, after they bring the dog back, says it's a Husky Shepherd.
Yes, that's the only part of that post that is incorrect. She made a mistake. Instead of Husky Lab mix, she wrote Husky Lab Shepherd mix.
You know what, guys? We're we're attempting to split some hairs I'm not willing to attempt to split here. This is the only reason why I'm going to make you return that money. And you can't look at me and say, oh, but that was a mistake. Then no one could ever win a court case ever. They'd have the evidence. They'd have you dead to rights. They'd present it in front of me. And then you'd say, yeah, but... And meanwhile, you're all guessing on what the darn dog is. Nobody knows. So, no, I am going to allow them to get their donation back, $350 verdict for the plaintiff. plaintiff plus your court costs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So the plaintiff prevails, gets the $350 deposit all the way back again. Ms. Healy, how do you feel about the outcome here?
Well, I'm not happy about the outcome. I mean, we did offer them another puppy that they decided not to go for,
Well,
but
obviously that's their choice. Obviously, it was a mistake on that piece of paper, that Instagram.
It was a
that
mistake on an
caused you
Instagram
the court case there.
post, yes.
And you say the dog is Snow's a good dog?
Yeah, he's
very
the
good.
best
You're
dog
happy
I've
with
ever
it?
had. Absolutely.
Okay, well, very good. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry about that. It's the way it works in court sometimes. Here come the Caseys now. I think a lot of people can understand how, you're disappointed from the fact that the dog really didn't work out at home.
Right. We wanted to take that dog home for our forever dog.
Sure.
And Husky House does a lot of good stuff,
but didn't work this time.
Right.
Just didn't work.
All righty. Well, sorry it didn't work out. You going to get another dog?
We
Yep.
already have one.
You already have one?
Chocolate Lab.
A chocolate lab. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
good
you.
enough. All right. Harvey?
Well, I mean, look, Doug, the type of dog is actually a material issue to the contract. And if the defendant misidentified the dog, the plaintiff can undo the deal.